Welcome back, guys. This is Life Be Lifin', or no, actually, this is Unfiltered. This is Unfiltered, a segment of Life Be Lifin' with my co-host Marlon Corners, and I'm Alyssa B.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Alyssa.
How's everyone doing tonight?
We are doing well tonight. Ecstatic and excited to be a part of this podcast journey with you.
Period.
This is awesome. Congratulations on your long journey.
It has been a long journey. It definitely has been a long journey, which I have to say is of good inspiration and good pushing force from you. I have to say that you have lit a fire up underneath me, so thank you for that. Much appreciated.
That's awesome.
Because none of this would have been possible if you had not lit that fire and really enforced me to actually do this.
Well, like I said earlier, I believe I shared with you on yesterday that I believe this is a diamond in the rough. And I just seen some qualities there that I needed to alert you to. And once you saw that, the passion was sparked, and it's a runaway train. And in fact, you are running at such a pace now, you have began to inspire me to go to the next level.
Which is that
about the passion. The passion is the fire. The passion is the burning that fuels the direction that you're going. And so,
absolutely,
certainly.
Well, you triggered the passion in me, because I didn't realize that this was a passion I had or something I even wanted to do or even had talent or a skill to do until you heard my story and was like, you're a walking podcast. That's what he said to me, y'all. He said, you're a walking podcast. You are walking content. And at first I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does that even mean? But then when he broke it down and explained to me that, like, people would be interested in me, like just me, my life, my experiences, my everyday struggles or whatever I might be doing or going through, my future, my successes, all of that, me. So I have taken what he has told me about me being walking content and I have ran with it. I'm now on the verge of starting an LLC, branding my name. So it'll be I'm going to get an LLC for my name. So my name will be my LLC and that'll be my business. And I'm going to grow that brand, which is me.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And there's so many people out there in the world that is not only interested in your story, but your story actually holds the keys to a lot of doors that's closed in a lot of people's lives. And they don't even realize that the access that they have, and they don't even believe because they don't know. And so when they begin to learn your story and see your journey and jump on this train, certainly they're going to discover some unknowns, uncharted areas, and that was always meant for their awesome lives. And so that's where we're headed.
Yes, and I'm ready to see where this train is going to finally end up stopping at, or if it's ever going to stop, if it's just going to keep rolling. I'm excited to see what this outcome is.
Knocking down some barriers that been out there, even generational curses and different things like that.
That's my biggest thing is generational curses, and that's what I want to break down and tear down. I also want to build up some generational wealth, for my kids, really for my kids, so that when they get ready to go into adulthood and experience life, they've got some wealth to carry with them. They don't have to struggle and rob Paul to pay Peter the way I have, and needed to do in order to make ends meet for us right now. This is my way out.
Yes, we've all been there. You sound like that mom that speaks about and to your children, and little do you know that you are actually speaking to their children's 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 children. And so you have changed the course of the generation. And so all the children and families to come, many, many years down, you are now changing the course where they don't have to go through what you went through, and they don't have to struggle, and they don't have to lay at night and wonder what tomorrow will hold, because you are changing the course of what has been.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I want them to know that they can do whatever they want to do, and they don't have to worry about, well, how am I going to pay for it, or how am I going to be able to do that and make sure my bills are paid, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. I don't want them to have to live their life in fear of making ends meet.
Right.
I want them to be able to live their life pursuing their passions and their dreams that I wasn't able to pursue at an early age and a younger adult age, because I had to struggle and I, went a different path with my life. I went a different path, and that path, gave me struggles, but we also didn't have generational wealth. I don't come from a family of money. So my father didn't have no money. My mother doesn't have no money, or didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have no wealth to pass down. So when I did step into adulthood, it was me having to take care of myself, work to take care of myself. And then I had kids. So I don't want my kids to have to do that. I want them to be able to graduate high school, go to college, and figure out who they are as a person and what drives their passion.
Absolutely.
And their desires, without having to worry about where they're going to live and how they're going to eat and keep their bills paid, et cetera, et cetera. This is what my generational wealth is meant to do, is to stop them from having to do that.
Absolutely.
I want them to be able to pursue their dreams and passions at a young adult age, so that when they reach this age where I am at 33, they've already established and know who they are as a person, and have already established the careers or life goals that they dreamed or dreamt of their whole childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm here to foster that for them.
Your children are so fortunate because they are experiencing this in real time. And so they're not reading history books. They're not reading, and no one is sitting down and telling them about their mom and who she was and what she was. They're living this in real time. Like, they're right here with you right now, moving forward, and they are witnessing the change as it happens. And so it's just awesome. It's a testament. And you should be happy. You should be
Thank you.
proud. Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm definitely proud. They get to see this. And so I'm hoping that they take this as a role model and as an example as to how they pursue their dreams and their desires.
Absolutely. So where are you headed with the podcast? I know I'm your new co-host, but where are you headed ultimately with your podcast? And I know you speak about generational wealth in your children and your family and everything. How does this tap into your fans and the fans to come as they listen to your story and they begin to follow your podcast?
I guess the purpose of my podcast is to give people a community, a sense of security, and I guess the lack of a best word for it is home, a sense of home, somewhere where they can go and feel like this is judgment free. I can vent about what I'm going through, or they can hear my story, or whatever, that episode might be about, or a struggle I'm going through, or maybe even a success I've had, and be like, man, if she can do it, I can do it. Absolutely. My podcast is really just about my life and about what I go through on a regular, everyday basis. Some good, some bad, some chaotic, some fun, some boring, just whatever I currently am going through that might offer some type of inspiration or motivation or empower someone to feel like they can do what they want to do and be the best versions of themselves. I know you guys have heard me say this multiple times on a couple of my podcasts, but I'm going to keep saying it. For me, life is about always growing, always advancing, always, just being better than what came before me, and being better than what I was yesterday, and being a better version, a better person, a better mom, a better employee, a better student, a better whatever you are, whatever role you're currently playing in your role. I want you to be the best at that. And every day I want you to be a better version. And so I'm starting that and motivating others with that, to do that through me, through my actual steps and my actual working of the progress and the plans and the journeys and the goals and the habits. And just, I want to show you, I want to be the example that you guys see, that if I can do it, you can do it. And if you don't have, I've had friends and I've had family and I've had associates where they have felt like they're alone in the world. They have all these people around them and all these friends and family and loved ones, but they still feel so alone because they don't feel connected to those people, or they don't feel connected to their world. I want this podcast and my podcast, not just this segment, but my podcast in general, I want it to be a space where people can come and connect, where they feel like they have a group of people that belong to them, that they can connect to, like, these are my people. This is where I'm home at. This is where I can be myself at. This is where, you know, we're all weird in our own ways. And I think the world tries to shun the weirdness, like it's wrong to be weird. But I think the weirdness in each and every one of us is what makes us who we are as individuals. So I want to foster and support that weirdness. All my weirdos out there, come follow me. This is your home. You're welcome here.
It's awesome. It is actually very inspirational because you're a light. I mean, you talked about how I inspired your light and got everything.
And you have.
And you're glowing so bright, Alyssa. And so I love how you want to fire up other lights. And there's so many jewels and treasures down in people. And like you say, we call it the weirdness, that the world seems to have a way. They have a system of how it operates. And anybody who don't fit within that, what they do, then they're what you call an outcast, or they're weird, or they're different.
Yep.
Fact of the matter is that God has put something down inside of all of us for the world. They're gifts that he put in us that we are to give the world, to inspire. And so
Agreed.
it's on so many different levels. We're all not the same.
Right.
And
absolutely.
I desire to do the same thing. My ultimate goal is to be a successful philanthropist. And so
Yes.
I want to make the
I
world
could
a better
see you doing
place.
that too.
That's in the U.S., that's in Africa, that's in China, that's in every corner of the earth. I just want to help. I want to inspire and make the world a better place, make the world a safer place, and help the world, help the people in a dark world realize, man, if your heart is beating, if you are alive, you have a purpose here on this earth.
Yeah.
You have great purpose on this earth. And so I'm here to help inspire you to find whatever that is so you can begin
We both are.
to pay it forward. And really
We
do
both
that.
are. We both are here for that. We both want to inspire people to be the best versions of themselves. That's all we can say.
Absolutely.
There's no better way to put it than to just say we all want to be the best versions of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because
And
I
you
think this
know-
world can be a much better place if people embraced who they were,
Mm,
truly.
mm.
And I
Mhm.
think the world would be a better place if we loved each other for who we are, instead of trying to conform us to societal stereotypes.
Absolutely. Well, you have a lot of people in power that have motives, hidden motives, when it comes to money, power, just like the election we just came through. A lot of people are scared right now when it comes to groceries. A lot of people are
I am one
scared
of them.
right now when it comes to family and, what's happening with our Latino community and everything. There's a lot of people scared right now. Displaced family, there's a lot of people at threat right now.
Absolutely.
And the world is wicked. The world is cold. And
Very
so
much
even
so.
with all of that, there is good in people in this world that can make a change, that can be a beacon, that can be a light, that can still inspire even in the turbulent times that we're in right now. How does the election we just came through and with the new president, how do you feel about that? When you get up in the morning and you go to work, I'm just curious, how do you feel? What's your feelings about that? What's your fears about where we are right now and where we were 2 weeks ago?
Well, to be honest, I'm not a fan at all of our new president. I'm not a fan of him because I don't agree with some of his policies and the things that he's trying to do with our country. Prior to the election, all the propaganda that was going out, the big thing was Project 2025.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's actually sat down and actually did some research and read some of the policies and things that he's trying to
There's
enact.
pretty a lot of stuff going on in there.
Yeah, there's some pretty alarming things. My biggest thing and the couple of biggest things I've been seeing that he's already enacted, and my friends and I made a joke of it, but it's not funny. And I want to tell you guys, I'm going to tell y'all the joke because at the time it was funny, but it's not funny. But the joke is Trump listed and put out his dates for ICE raids like they were damn tour dates. Like he was on tour for a concert or something. He just threw those out there like, hey, I'm stopping in a city near you today. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, these are human beings that have who have left their country to come to this country because we have the freedoms that they didn't have in their country. And or safety. We've even had a little bit more safety in our country. Now, I'm not saying our country is very safe because our crime rates are high.
Oh, absolutely.
However, it might be a safer. Like if you had to choose the lesser of two evils, you might choose America over your own country. You know what I'm saying? Because your safety of living your everyday life in your own country is not safe. And now I feel like this is what America's now turning into. Now that I really feel like this has become one of those countries where we as a people have to fear our everyday lives.
Yeah.
And again, my friends and I made a joke about it. Again, it's not funny, but again, it was funny at the time. But we made a joke that Trump's gonna turn us back into slaves. And dark-skinned people, like my children, unfortunately, and well, not unfortunately because they're beautiful children and there's nothing wrong with being dark-skinned. I say unfortunately because in the times of slavery, dark-skinned people were the ones that were in the fields, were the ones that were getting whipped and chained and all of that. And then there's people who are blessed like myself to be light-skinned who were in the house. We were maids. We were cooks. We were, you know what I'm saying? We were the house people. And so my friends and I made a joke about amongst of us, I'm the lightest in the group. And so my friend said, man, Alyssa, you better fight hard tooth and nail to keep us out that field because you know you're the only one that's going to be in the house, including your kids, lady. And at first I thought it was hilarious, but then when I really sat down and thought about it, like, this is really a true possibility in our world right now. Like, going back into slavery days is a real possibility with the man that's running our president. Someone said something to me. I was sitting around the table in my break room at work, and a gentleman said, we need to be careful and we need to be paying attention because there may not be another election in 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
Because Trump is trying to turn this country into a dictatorship.
Yeah. He's already trying to get people to pass a bill that would allow him to go a third term. And he's made comments about you guys will never have to vote again after this election.
Yes, exactly. And that's a fear
What do you
for
mean
me.
by that?
Yeah, because I don't want to be stuck under the reign of Trump as our president. I've made this statement before, and I made it in a joking factor because I wasn't thinking seriously about it, but I made it in a joking factor that by the time the next election comes around, I'll be 35. So let's vote simply Alyssa. Let's vote me for president next time.
You got it.
Because I just feel like personally, I could do better than what he's doing because I truly feel like the president needs to be someone from the working class.
Yeah.
It needs to be someone who's lived their life, majority of their life in the working class, who knows what it's like to be a single mom, a single parent, a single dad, who knows what it's like to rob Paul to pay Peter, who knows what it's like to work multiple jobs and still not make enough to make ends meet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's going to go into office and put in policies and procedures and laws and things that are going to actually help all of the American people.
Yeah. Well,
and I just feel like we have not had a president in our office. No offense to Obama because he did a great job too. Biden did somewhat of a good job. But honestly, I just feel like no president in our history of how many have we had? 55 now almost, I think it is. If I'm keeping track, out of the 55 people that have tried to run this country, I don't feel like anyone has done anything for these people. Minus Kennedy. I will give Kennedy and I'll give Lincoln their credits for the proclamation thingy and the freeing of slaves and the civil rights. I will give those two presidents their credit because they did do that for us. However, though, anyone to come before them or after them, they haven't done anything for us as a human,
Well, you know, really you tapped into something. And for the record, Obama was 44. Trump's first term, he was 45. Biden was 46, and now he's back in at number 47. So it's been 47 now. And you actually tapped into something because it's not just the presidency. You know, when the forefathers and all this started, those weren't rich people raising billions of dollars for a campaign. These were regular people. And so you're really tapping into something when you say a U.S. president needs to be, we the people.
A regular person.
Need to come from us. And not only that, that needs to happen in the House, in the Senate, in the Congress, all these people. Because you got all these highly educated people. Where's that gotten us? Nowhere.
Nowhere.
And actually, in my mind, what's actually missing in our government is simple, is common sense. Common sense. What makes sense? What is fair? A person that can make a common sense decision can hold the White House successfully, surrounded by people. You know, the military, he's got all these generals that know the military. They know the military's might. They know what's going on around the world. And so a president sits and listens to the military, and he's given options like, you can do this, you can do this. And all you have to do is make a common sense decision. Okay, this is what we're going to go with, and this is why we're going to do that. We need these type of people in Congress and in the Senate that know what
we need them throughout our entire government. We need them throughout our entire government.
Turn it into a big game for the rich people.
That's all it is.
Rich people up there, they're talking, well, we know
now you got Elon Musk up in there trying to be a part of it because he's rich.
Yeah.
Sir, stay in your lane of electric cars.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy. So the whole thing needs to be redid and just put everyday people, a mom, a mailman, a police officer, a security guy, a bus, an
EMS
driver.
Look, an EMS, somebody, some regular person who just can treat us like human beings.
That can relate, that understands.
I just feel like no one sees each other as human beings anymore.
Yeah.
Like we don't see each other as the fact that we all bleed the same color blood, that we all have the same damn organs in our bodies. We all got a heart. We all got lungs. We all got kidneys. We all got, you know what I'm saying? We all got blood types. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're yellow, purple, green, blue, red, orange, whatever. You're still going to bleed the same color. And if you need an organ, guess what? If my blood type matches your blood type, but you're purple and I'm yellow, guess what? My organ's still going to work.
You saying something.
We're human beings. Why we just can't treat each other as such?
Absolutely. I asked a group of people something one time. I said, I got a question. And it was many different races there. I said, I got a question.
Right.
I said, if God himself, in a moment's time, snatched his air from the earth, what race of people would still be standing?
You speaking something. None.
Okay.
Nan human being, nan animal or none of it. The only things that would be alive in the world if he took the air is, guess what? Them fish in the ocean. Because they don't need no air.
Even the water got air in it. You know.
True. That is true.
The water got air in it.
So maybe they won't even have no water. So we all gonna be dead.
Sounds like we all got something in common. And we all need this one thing. But yet you got certain races walking around here and they're better than everybody.
I deserve more than you. I need more air than you because I'm white. Yeah. I need more air than you because I'm rich.
Yeah.
I need more air than you because I'm educated.
Yeah.
I need more air than you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
None of those things determine who you are as a human being.
No, they don't.
None of those things determine I can't even think of the right word that I'm trying to say, but none of that determines the caliber.
The caliber, right.
Of legacy you leave behind on this earth.
That's
None
right.
of that. No one's going to look back and be like, oh, Alyssa was a mixed person. They're not going to look back and say, oh, that was a mixed person. They're going to look back and say, oh, Alyssa, she had a podcast and she spoke about some real things on her podcast. And she posted about her real life and she was relatable and she talked about generational wealth and she left 2 kids behind who were successful and grew up to be doctors and lawyers or whatever the hell my kids choose to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the legacy I want to leave behind. I don't care about whether I was black, purple, yellow, orange, mixed, green. We all bleed the same color.
Whatever God's call that he put down in me when he called me from my mother's womb, that's what I want to accomplish before I leave this earth.
That's it, and that's
I
all.
don't believe we're going back to slavery. Although there's a lot of people in their feeble minds
It's
would
a
like
fear.
something like that. It's not going to go back to that.
It
But
won't be that easy. Let's just say it
yeah,
won't be easy.
but I tell you, we need to stay on the track that we're on and continue to dream and push towards those goals and
Absolutely.
inspire
Absolutely.
and get people fired up to become a better person, because that's going to make a better world. That's going to make a better community. That's going to make a better city. That's going to make a better state. That's going to make
Everything.
a better school. That's going to make a better church. That's going to make a better workplace. I mean, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. We have the power to change the world, believe it or not. And we're going to do just that. We're going to do just that. This has been awesome. This has been an awesome podcast.
I agree. I think it's going to be one of the most successful podcasts around. I think people are going to really, truly relate. I think the community that's going to grow from this podcast, not just this segment of Unfiltered, but my whole podcast as a whole and my content and you as a philanthropist, I truly think this community is going to grow and be great. And I'm excited to see what it is and what it's
And
going to
even
be.
Unfiltered them got me already, because it was totally in my mind to get off this mic, get something to eat, get fresh, sit down, make everything look perfect, and then go on with this. But we just, in the raw, just took off and ran with it. And I think what we have here is good. I think it's good.